Hi guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this pencil skirt with a band. If that seems like something you'll be interested in, please keep on watching. So first of all, draft out the pattern for this skirt, and we're going to draft one piece which will serve for both the front and the back piece. I'm going to start by marking out the zipper allowance on the pattern, which is about 1.5 inches, and I'm marking that all the way down the pattern paper. Afterwards, I'm going to join my lines. Next, we're going to be placing our vertical measurements, and I'm subtracting 2 inches from the band, and I'm going to mark my skirt length all the way down. Then I'm going to mark that measurement all along the pattern and join my lines together. Next, I'm going to be coming down from the waist measurement by about 9 inches, and I'm going to mark my hip line. Remember, we subtracted 2 inches for the band, so if you measure the distance from the top of the pattern paper to where I'm marking, is actually 7 inches, and I'm going to be joining this line together. So next, on the top of the pattern paper, I'm going to be marking my waist measurement, a quarter of my waist measurement, and the waist measurement I'm working with is 28 inches divided by 4 is 7 inches. The hip measurement I'm working with is 36 inches divided by 4, marking 9 inches, and these are all the horizontal measurements. And at the hemline or the skirt length, I'm going to subtract 1 inch from the measurement I placed on the hip line. So instead of placing 9 inches at the hemline, I'm actually placing 8 inches, and I'm now going to go ahead to join all my lines together. So at the hip line, you can just curve out the point. It's not meant to be a sharp one. You can make it curved, or you use your French curve to join that point. So at the waistline, I'm going to be placing my dart, and to place my dart, I'm taking the half of my nipple to nipple measurement for my client divided by 2, and nipple to nipple measurement for this person is about 7 inches. Divided by 2, we have 3.5. I'm going to come down to about 2 inches above my hip line, and I'm going to make a mark there. At this point, I'm also going to measure half of the nipple to nipple measurement of my client and make a point. Then I'm going to join all those points together as you can see. Then at the waistline, I'm going to mark half an inch from the dart on both sides, and I'm going to join that to the marking I made at the bottom of the dart. So next, I'm going to be measuring the dart, and I'm going to add that to the waistline. Then I'm also going to add 1.5 inch sewing allowance at that waistline. At the hip line, I'm only going to add 1.5 inches sewing allowance because I didn't take out any measurements. The dart didn't extend up to the hip line, and at the hemline or the skirt length line, I'm also going to add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I'm going to join all those points together. Now at the bottom of the pattern, I'm going to be adding 2 inches, which will serve as my sewing allowance, and I'm going to add that all along the pattern and join that line together. Next, I'm going to cut out my pattern and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. So after cutting it out, this is what the pattern is going to look like. Next, I'm going to be placing it on my fabric and cutting out both my front and back piece. So to cut out the front piece, I'm going to be folding the zipper allowance. Then I'm also going to fold my fabric into two, and I'll be placing that edge where the zipper allowance was on the folded piece of the fabric. So as you can see, I folded the fabric and one edge is folded, the other edge is not. So that middle portion where the zipper allowance is supposed to be is where the center front of the skirt is going to be, and I'm going to cut that out. Next, I'll be cutting out the back piece, and the back piece is not cut out on fold. I'll bring out that zipper allowance and I'm going to place the edge of the zipper allowance to the edge of the fabric, not on fold, and I'm just going to cut out 2 pieces of that. I didn't realize my camera stopped recording. I was trying to cut out the band here, but I'll show you guys what I did a little bit later. So after cutting out the front and the back piece, this is what you're going to have: 2 separated pieces for the back, and then you're also going to have 1 joined piece for the front. Next, we're going to be placing our back piece on the front piece, right side facing each other, as you can see me doing. And please make sure that you're placing the edges together and not the center at the edge, so just be very careful with that. And afterwards, I'm going to take my back piece and I'll join it at the zip allowance. I'm going to start about 7 inches away from the waistline, and I'll stop about 5 to 6 inches away from the hem. So I'm just going ahead to pin the zipper allowance together so that I can show you guys where you're going to sew on. And you're going to sew with the 1.5 inch sewing allowance that we left for the zipper. So after joining it all together, as you can see, I didn't join all the way to the top and all the way from the top or all the way to the bottom. So you start about 70 inches away from the waistline, and then you're going to stop about 5 to 6 inches away from the hemline. And when you're done joining it, this is what it's supposed to look like. You can see the allowance at the top, that is for the zip, and at the bottom, which is for the slits. Then after joining the back piece together and the zipper allowance, you're going to go ahead and place the back piece on the front piece, and you're going to join the sides together all the way from the top to the bottom of the skirt. So you're just going to join with the 1.5 inch sewing allowance that we added, and as you can see, you place both sides together, edge to edge, and then you join from top to bottom. After joining my skirt from top to bottom, I'm going to show you guys now. This is what it looks like. I went ahead to add the darts at the positions that the dart provision was made, as you can see, for the front and for the back on both sides. Alright, to cut out the band, what I did is I measured the waist measurement that served as my length, and I added 8 inches to that length as allowance. I also went ahead to measure the width, which was 5 inches, and I cut out a long strip of fabric, and then I sewed down the edges of that fabric, as you can see. Then I turned it over. I've gone ahead to add a zip to this skirt, so what I'm going to do now is show you how to attach the band to the zip, to the waist. So I'm going to place right side of the band facing the wrong side of the skirt, and I just left about 2 inches from the edge of the band before I placed it to the edge of the skirt, and I'm just going to join that together. And please note that I'm only joining one layer of the band, I'm not joining the two. So I'm just using my pin to secure that right side of the band facing the wrong side of the skirt. I'm going to do that all the way round the skirt to the other side. And when you're done, this is what it's going to look like. So I've attached one side of the band. I'm now going to go ahead to attach the other. So you're just going to bring the band forward and fold the free edge by about half an inch. Then you're going to place that on the skirt and sew it down. So I'm going to go over to my machine and sew down this band that I've folded onto the right side of the skirt. And when I'm done, this is what the skirt looks like. So at the top of the skirt, you can go ahead to add a hook or a button as you see fit, and at the slit I also sewed that down. So this is what the skirt is looking like. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time, bye.